Hi, my name is Tom Recker. I'm a sales rep here in Phoenix, Arizona. Bear with me, I'm not an actor. So when being confronted with the opposition of, say, reach local with a customer, I will typically sit down with them and tell them about the following. Well, one, I'll never badmouth a competitor of ours. It's not in good taste, but I do believe in pointing out the facts in how they operate their campaigns. Now, I'll just say, stop me when this sounds all too familiar, but you have a website that perhaps isn't performing up to its standards, and so they build a mirrored site in order to better perform. Does that sound about right? Good. So the only difference between these two sites is that they enhance their own site to outperform your own in order to drive traffic. This is really their value proposition, but it's the same exact point where it stops making sense for your business's long-term growth. Do you know why? Of course, they'll ask why. Well, really, it's a three-pronged approach. One is that they're updating their own website without ever touching your websites, you know, Mr. Customer. So in other words, your site doesn't get any better, and you're paying them to make their site that you eventually become very dependent on. So when you try and break free from them, you're left with an old site that wasn't working in the first place. And does that make very much sense for your business? Of course not. Now, you're saying that you're still getting results from this website, so what does it matter if you're dependent on it or not? Well, I'm glad you asked. That brings me to my second point. While they're optimizing their own version of the site, they're not just trying to draw traffic from certain keyword searches like, you know, you're a plumber. So they're not just trying to draw traffic from Phoenix plumbers, for example. They're also optimizing their site to also pull up when somebody searches for you by name. So although they do not advertise that, they're trying to show you all this online web traffic that they're generating for you, but in actuality it's a lot of your own customers that are just trying to find you, who already know who you are, that are finding your site, and then they turn around and pass it off as brand new customers that didn't know who you are but happen to find you through their site. Does that sound very fair? Well, lastly, the third prong to this value proposition that doesn't really seem to make sense for you is has really come about recently. It's in something called Google's Penguin Update. Are you familiar with that? No, okay, of course not. So what Google's Penguin Update, among other things, it's really a website killer, and more specifically duplicate websites. Google's Penguin Update has or is designed to scour the web for any kind of sites with duplicate content, duplicate information, in an attempt to make sure that Google's results are relevant, but also unique results being provided back to the end user, people like us, on their searching. And so when they recognize that you have your old website out there, and Reach Local has their site that looks very similar to yours with a couple keywords changed here and there, just in order to optimize it just a little bit better than yours, it recognizes, well, they're almost the same website. We probably shouldn't bring either of them up. So, really, in conclusion, you're becoming dependent on a site that they are passing off as being, I lost it.
Unique.
It is unique, and in actuality, many of the results may very well be customers that already are looking for you, and not necessarily brand new customers. You can't really break away from that website because, well, they've built up their own website and not yours. And lastly, as long as they're both out there, neither one might pull up. That's all.